it's time to go. Toyota, with the best resale value of any brand, again for the third year in a row. Because when it comes to holding value, nobody does it better than Toyota. In fact, Toyota has 3 of the top 10 ranked by KBB.com for 2019, including Tacoma at number 1. So whether you're searching for America's favorite car, SUV, or adventure-ready truck, this is where you want to shop. Go reliable, go Toyota, and let's go places.
When you brew a beer with this much taste, 96 calories seems like a typo. But it's no mistake. It's a small miracle. What are you holding? Miller Lite. Hold true.
JC Tickets provides first-class trips to Ravens road games, including airfare, 4-star hotels, game tickets, and cocktail parties. We also help provide great seating locations to all Ravens home games. JC Tickets, where the games begin. Visit us at jctickets.net.
And welcome back. Monday Night Live continues the original Green Turtles Ravens Wrap Show with Ravens News 44. Give yourselves a hand once again. And saying hello to everybody as well on Facebook Live at Ravens 24/7, the Facebook home of RussellStreetReport.com. Week number 6 as we recap that win over the Bengals. Also talk some other news and notes as we did with some of the injuries, unfortunately. But the Ravens sitting at 4-2 right now in a good spot in the AFC North. And we'll talk about the division coming up as well. But Anquan Boldin in the building yesterday, Tony, at M&T Bank Stadium today before the John Harbaugh weekly press conference. He talked about his retiring as a Raven, had talked about that of his. And I think he played, I want to say, 12 years, 13 years in the league. That is 3 or 4 years, 3 years with the Ravens was the most impactful. And obviously the Super Bowl plays a part of that. But he talked about how top-notch, first-class the organization was and how the community rallied around him and really just showed him a lot of love even after he left Baltimore. A lot of people lamented, Ravensers 44, a lot of folks lamented about him getting away from the Ravens. But, Tony, your thoughts about Anquan Boldin?
Well, I thought it was interesting during that press conference that John Harbaugh brought up to Ozzie, let's just talk about the elephant in the room right now. Why did he ever leave here?
Yeah.
How about that, Ozzie? I mean, he called out Ozzie right there.
He did. And then Kevin Byrne later talked about the phone conversation that John had with Anquan after the news. He was upset. He was upset.
Yeah, well, it's hard when you win a Super Bowl, and the guy was so instrumental in winning that Super Bowl. It started with that Colts game. He just dominated that second half against the Colts.
Yep.
He didn't do much against the Broncos in the Mile High Miracle game, but then he certainly stepped up in that AFC Championship game against the Patriots, and obviously started on the same exact play that he scored 2 touchdowns on against the Patriots. He scored the first touchdown in the Super Bowl. And so I think the reason why Ravens fans were so connected to Anquan is the reason why he's retiring as a Raven, even though he played 7 seasons in Arizona and 3 in Baltimore, because he played like a Raven. He embraced that mentality. He was, like John Harbaugh said in the press conference today, he never got any separation. He just said to Joe Flacco, just throw him the ball, he'll catch it. Mm-hmm. He makes contested catches. So don't worry about him getting separation because he's probably slower than a lot of the offensive linemen.
well, I wouldn't go that far, but we get your point. Well, I think what he brought, because Baltimore's always been mostly a defensive town outside of maybe the first couple of years under Marchibroda. It's been a defensive town, and this defense has led this organization. But he brought a physicality and a swagger to the offense that it needed, that it didn't have. I mean, you go to training camp, and it's always the defense beating up on the offense, and the offense was, the redheaded stepchild to the defense and to the team. But he brought that physicality, that swagger, that mentality to the offense, and it paid off in a big way. And, again, I go back. After they fired Cam Cameron, what – the change that happened when you put Jacoby Jones to the outside, you get Boldin in the slot, and then Torrey Smith on the other side. You let Anquan Boldin be that slot receiver that he's best at doing. And why am I blanking on the offensive coordinator that took over, Jim, that ended up going to took a head.
Oh, right. He went to Detroit, right?
Yeah, that took the head job with Yeah, Jim Caldwell. Thank you. When Jim Caldwell took over, that's the thing that he did, that he got Boldin in the slot. He got Jacoby Jones to the outside, and he went to more 3 wide receiver sets, got him in the slot, then you had Pitt in the slot, and then it all worked. And guys were in the spots they should be, and you had Torrey Smith and Jacoby on the outside that could take the top off the defense, and then you had Pitt and Boldin working the underneath, and they rode that to a Super Bowl.
Right, and they had some good tight ends too with Pitta.
Yeah.
You know, as he scored in the Super Bowl. But when I think of Anquan Boldin, the thing that just they're showing highlights of that. The one thing that pops into my mind.
There you go.
That wasn't Buzz.
Oh no, that's the other
T.O.
81. That was T.O. But Bolden did play with the 49ers.
He did for 3 years. And it's just his toughness. Just how many people can? So we were talking about injuries before. How many people can say that they broke their face in a game and then came back 2 weeks later? He had his face broken against the Jets.
Yep.
In an awful shot that he took to the face.
Was that Monday night game? That was like 10-9 that they won?
I don't know if it was a Monday night game, but it was just an awful shot that they probably throw the guy out of the league now for that kind of hit. But the guy breaks his face.
But that was back when he was with Arizona, I think.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I got you. That wasn't with the Ravens.
2 weeks later, he shows up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's what you would call an old school player.
No doubt.
Old school player. So Anquan Boldin is going to retire as a Raven, or has retired as a Raven. And I know we got to go to break, but I'll tell you the one thing that I think if you're an outsider or maybe just take your fandom away and you take a look at the Ravens, the amount of players, the alumni, and I'm not saying this doesn't happen with other teams. Maybe I'm just not dialed into them enough because we cover the Ravens. But the amount of players that come back that are proud to be a part of this organization, proud to be a part of the alumni, and you guys know that come back for the Ravens Beach Bash, the Willis McGahee, the Jamal Lewises, the Mark Claytons of the world that we've seen down here in Ocean City at the Summer Beach Bashes. They are really prideful that they were a part of this organization, even if they played for other teams. And it's a real tribute that, we know it's a business, but at the end of the day, when their career's over, they're coming back, and you see them on the field before and after games, at practice. Ed Reed a couple of weeks ago, it was great, the message he gave to the team before the Steelers game. It just, that makes me prideful to be a Ravens fan to see that, Tony.
Oh, no question about it. And I think when you see those kinds of things happening, and we've heard Steve Bisciotti talk about that on this show down here, that they really value the families. Because we kind of look at these players as almost robotic at times. They're out there on the field on Sunday, but they're people. They get ticked off at things in life, and they have bad things happen, and they have illnesses and things like that. And their families have things that happen to them. The Ravens have a great way of embracing families, and that makes the players want to play even more for the Baltimore Ravens. So you're right. It's a prideful thing as a fan of the team that I'm happy that a guy like Anquan Boldin retires as a Raven, even though he spent 7 years in Arizona. And I think that has a lot to do with it. They just embrace the family, and embracing the family, it endears the player that much more to the team.
We'll take a time out with that. Some video mashups we've got next, and more of Monday Night Live. The original Green Turtles Ravens Wrap Show continues next. Keep it here.
Let's sit down to my favorite bar. I'm rocking full 20, won't give so far. The Green Turtle gonna have some.
Welcome to the original Green Turtle in Ocean City, a neighborhood favorite with a mouth-watering menu, the best bar in town, a huge game room, plus the apparel and gift shop. There's nothing like the original Green Turtle in Ocean City.
Let's sit down to the turtle again tonight, yeah.
Welcome to the Comfort Inn Gold Coast. Conveniently located just 1 block from the beach and adjacent to shopping at the Gold Coast Mall and the movie theater. Newly renovated and open year-round with a marvelous bayfront view. Visit us on the web at comfortgoldcoast.com and see our hot deals and great golf packages, or simply call our direct reservation line to plan your stay.
Ocean City, Maryland is the hottest golf destination on the East Coast, and it's just a short drive away. With 17 championship golf courses designed by legends of the game. Greats like Jack Nicklaus, Robert Trent Jones, Arthur Hills, and Pete Dye have changed the coastal landscape here. When you pair coastal golf with exciting nightlife, excellent dining, 10 miles of white sandy beach, and a world-famous boardwalk, it's no wonder why great golf is just the beginning in Ocean City, Maryland. Plan and book your next golf getaway today by visiting oceancitygolf.com or by calling 800-4OC-GOLF.